old was I when I became a father, or how old was I when I felt like I was a father?
How old were you when you became a father, and how old were you when you felt like you became a father?
I was 31 when I became a father, but I felt like I was a father since I was 10 years old. I've always been the oldest out of my group. I've always looked after kids, and I've just been a parental figure. That's what I felt like in my heart.
What does the role of a father look like in today's society?
In my opinion, it's kind of scarce. It's like my generation, I feel like growing up with a father was somewhat almost extinct at that time. It's like you had your father, and then you go out, you do stuff with him, or if you didn't have your father, you at least had a neighbor or a school teacher or somebody who took you in and looked after you and gave you guidance as a father would. But today's society, I feel like it's kind of lacking. Like nobody really takes the time to be a father or be a man to certain kids that might actually need it and look like they need it and feel like they need it.
How big of a role does a father play? Like, how big of a role did father figures and your father play in your life? How big of a role do you think it plays in the life of people today? And do you think that's something that we need to get back to?
Um, I feel like it plays a huge role in the development, especially of a man. It's like you have to have somebody that you look up to that's a male. It's like you have to, somebody has to show you guidance, has to show you the way. Um, Growing up then, it's like I said, it's you had a teacher that would take you in, show you how to play ball, or talk to you about girls at that point, or anything that's going on in your life. Now, it doesn't seem that prevalent. It's like everybody figures it out on their own. They have this notion of what a man should be, but that notion is not what a man should be. A man should be loving, caring, protective. A lot of these guys these days, it's like they don't. It's about self preservation.
What type of feeling does being a father give you?
A sense of pride. Um, I've been a protector all my life, so it's like I feel like a protector. Like it's a great feeling. Sometimes it's a selfish feeling though, because it's like it's territorial. You know what I mean? Like you don't want your children calling nobody else daddy, but at the same time, it's a hard thing to swallow sometimes.
So, as we close out, what's something as a father that you feel like, as a black man, as a black father, what is something that you feel like doesn't get expressed or doesn't get addressed or should be talked about or explained or shown more?
Mental awareness.
Mm.
Sometimes fathers go through things, and as a man, we were taught not to cry or don't talk about it or try to keep it bottled up. And as a human, that's impossible. You have to be able to communicate. You have to be able to express. You have to be able to love. You have to be able to cry. You have to be able to release. And if you can't have that, if you can't do that, it's no way you can be a good father.
Do you feel like fathers are appreciated, black fathers are appreciated in our society?
Not as much as they should be. I feel like sometimes black fathers don't get the recognition because oftentimes we've been raised in a society where it's the mother that has to do everything or seems like she does everything. So the contributions that a black father makes sometimes is diminished. Sometimes it seems like it's not enough.
Do you feel like um, the black community has a lack of the father presence?
Yeah, I do. I feel like it's a lack of presence. Like I said, it's in my experience, it's seeing that oftentimes it is the mother who has to take the role of the father or has to take the role of being in charge and getting the child back and forth, etc. Um, Oftentimes that's made hard on a black father. A black father can do the same thing but get less credit. And it's not that it's in my opinion, it shouldn't be a credit situation. It's if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, you don't have to acknowledge me as being a father, but you have to acknowledge me as a father, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's all a man wants is just to be acknowledged. You know, there's times when some fathers don't have it to give, but they have time. So they'll give that time instead of monetary value. Or they might not have that physical time, so they have the monetary, and that's how they contribute. Oftentimes, it's like either way you go, it's kind of nobody cares. Nobody sees that what that father goes through at the end of the day.
If you could tell all the young black men who are getting ready to become fathers something about, your experience that you think they might need to take with them or that they, should be aware of, what would you tell them?
Don't give up. Be strong. Be steadfast. Learn how to love. Learn how to care. Learn how to be emotional to your child. Because when you teach your child these coping skills and you teach your child how to be a man, they in turn take that and want to do the same thing. One of the things I did growing up, and my mother made sure was, she gave me a Cabbage Patch Kid. It was a doll. And because I had that doll, it showed me how to nurture, how to be a loving person, how to care for something. And to this day, I still, carry that mindset. If I see a little boy playing with a doll or any type of situation like that, and the mother's like, well, I don't want him playing with a doll because he ain't gonna be no punk or no sissy. It's like, no. That's showing your child how to be a father. That's showing your child how to nurture. That's building character.
In the media, black fathers are represented in a positive way.
Only in Tyler Perry movies. and sometimes not all of them, but not really. I don't think they get the credit they deserve. Because you'll have some men who make children and just don't want to be a father or just don't have the mental capacity for it. And that's what society focuses on. They focus on the lack of instead of the ones who are really out here picking up the slack or the ones who are really out here being a father. They want to focus on the not so good versions.
What do you think makes a man a father?
Like I said, just caring, nurturing. Like, if you know your child don't have and you're willing to go without so your child does have, that makes you a father. If you take in a child that's not yours, or you stand in a position of leadership in a child's life, or just being a male figure, that makes you a father. Because if you're giving good advice, you're giving guidance, sometimes a child won't get it from home. And that's even if they do have a father present at home. Sometimes they need an outside source. They need another father figure to tell them, hey, don't do that.